Bula, everybody. Bula is the universal greeting in Fiji. It's a little bit like aloha, I suppose, if you're visiting Hawaii. So Bula, everybody. Vinaka, Audrey, that was such a lovely introduction. Thank you very much. For those of you, I'll apologise in advance. I'm a Kiwi, I'm a New Zealander. The resort is owned by a New Zealand family. So if I'm a little hard to understand, just please bear with me. And in those questions that you're going to ask Audrey later on, if I need to clarify anything, please let me know. So we are just thrilled to be involved in ScubaCon. We have a great relationship with Dreamweaver Travel, and we're very grateful to the whole Weavers team, who most of them have been to VoliVoli Beach Resort and can talk personally about their experiences. So let's show you where we are to start with. So Fiji is about a 10-hour flight time directly from the United States. The Fiji Islands, there's over 300 islands in the group, and we are situated on the very main island of Viti Levu. Now, if you're coming directly from the States, it's a flight under normal circumstances. Fiji Airways flies directly every day. It's a 10-hour flight. I love it because you board the flight at 10:30 at night. It's a glass of wine, a movie, little nap. You wake up in the morning and you're in Fiji. So you arrive in Fiji at about 5:30 in the morning, and we come and pick you up directly from the airport. Now, if you were flying from San Francisco, there is 3 flights a week under normal circumstances, and you can fly directly either from New Zealand. It's only a 3-hour flight. Or 4 hours from Australia, if you were combining it with perhaps diving in the Poor Knights in New Zealand, or maybe the Great Barrier in Australia. So let's talk about where we are on the main island. So you land at Nandi International Airport, just here. The advantage of VoliVoli Beach Resort is because we are on the main island, you're not having to then take a smaller plane, and sometimes luggage can be an issue with those smaller planes, or a boat out to another island. We're actually on the main island. We're situated in the very, very northern tip of the island, right on the very edge of the Bligh Waters. Now, for any of you who haven't been to Fiji, I'm just going to tell you there's 4 areas to dive in Fiji. You have got Taveuni and Savusavu, so you've got the Great White Wall and Rainbow Reef up there. Then you've got Kindavu, which is down in the south off the main island of Viti Levu, and this is quite famous for diving with manta rays. And then you have Pacific Harbour, which is down here on the main island, and that's well known for the shark dive. And the trip that Audrey's bringing, you're going to combine coming to us at the Bligh Waters, and then you're going to go and dive a second region in Fiji, just down here in Pacific Harbour. Personally, and of course I'm completely biased, but I've been diving Fiji for over 30 years, and I love the Bligh Waters, the diversity of diving that's so accessible. So we have, prior to COVID, we had discovered 50 dive sites that we access directly from our resort. Now, over COVID, our local dive masters, because they are passionate about diving the Bligh Waters, they've discovered another 30 dive sites. So we now have charted and mapped 80 dive sites that are easily accessible in the Bligh Waters for us to dive. So we are tucked away in that very, very northern tip. Now, VoliVoli means sand in Fijian, and it's because we have this 80-metre sand spit that extends out into the ocean. What makes that so lovely about our resort is our boats can easily just moor straight off the beach, and we have 2 house reefs. Now, on our group dive packages with Dreamweaver Travel, we actually offer unlimited shore diving on those 2 reefs. So when we talk about the package that we're putting together, they are boat dives, and remember, you've got unlimited shore diving. Let me tell you a little bit about the resort. So it's owned by the Darling family. They're a Kiwi family who came to Fiji over 25 years ago. Steve Senior got the contract to build the King's Highway, which, if I bring you back to the map of Fiji, it's the highway that goes from VoliVoli Beach Resort, or Raki Raki, right down to Suva, which is the capital. Now, I should also mention our region is called the Sun Coast because it gets more sunshine hours than anywhere else in Fiji, which is pretty spectacular. So the family decided to settle in Fiji. The two young sons, Nick and Steve, they attended local primary school. And then when they got older, they went to New Zealand to finish their high schooling and college. Now, Steve Jr., little Steve we call him, came back to Fiji. They bought this piece of land, and Steve was passionate about diving and started working for a dive operation called Ra Divers. Now, while their dad was off in Papua New Guinea doing another civil engineering project, Steve and his mum bought Ra Divers, announced to Dad, hey, we now own a dive operation. So that's how the resort started. So I want to tell you that we have been diving Fiji for a really long time. You've got very experienced owners and operators based here at VoliVoli Beach Resort. Now, we were going great. The boys moved back to Fiji. They were running the resort for their parents. Their wives and their children lived at the resort and still do. And then in 2016, Cyclone Winston came through Fiji, and we were right in the eye of it and completely destroyed the resort. So we did a massive rebuild, and the resort that you're looking at here today with this bird's eye view is a brand new resort, basically. So we opened again in 2017, and we are open right now. I do want to make that very clear. The resort is actually very, very popular with expats and corporates who travel up from Suva with their families to holiday at VoliVoli Beach Resort for long weekends and to dive the Bligh waters. We are very, very well known for the quality of diving and dive operation that we've got. Now, excuse me here, because a little bit of technical issues while I just zoom you in and out. Okay, so let me show you through the resort. This is a little flyover. I do apologize if the video is a little bit jumpy, but it's only 40 seconds, but it gives you a beautiful overview of what the resort looks like and what we can offer you on a stay. Just makes me smile looking at it. I'd really love to be there right now. So let me just come to here. We are a small boutique resort. We've only got 33 villas, but as I said, we're family owned and operated. So you can be sure that when you come to stay with us, you're going to become a member of our family very, very quickly. Now, we do have a boutique on site. Typically what happens is when you arrive into Nandi International Airport, we have a transfer waiting for you. It's an air-conditioned transfer. We're 2.5 hours drive, and you go up this beautiful coastline where you're actually driving through traditional Fijian villages, and you actually get an idea of what Fijian lifestyle is actually like. Fijians are very well known in the South Pacific as being probably the friendliest Pacific Island people. Our staff has an absolute gift for knowing people's names within about 30 seconds of being introduced to them and meeting them. And they will make you feel very, very welcome. So when you arrive at the resort, we do a resort orientation. And then when it's time to check into your rooms, we pop you into your rooms, and what we ask you to do is remove your computer and your photography equipment from your dive bag, pop your dive bag out in front of your room, and our staff will come along, our dive boys will come and pick that up and store it for you for the rest of the time that you're with us. Now, it is concierge style diving. It's princess diving. It's my kind of style of diving. You won't have to wash a wetsuit or carry a tank. That's all done for you. Our boutique, which you saw the image of, I just want to mention that quickly. Natalie Darling, who is one of the daughter-in-laws who lives on site with her kids, she runs the boutique. Now, Natalie has a real passion for Fijian, supporting local Fijian artists. So as much as we can, the gifts in that boutique are actually made in Fiji, and there's normally a charitable trust that sits behind some of the making of those products. Now, we are an award-winning resort, very, very pleased to say, and so we had the cyclone in 2016. We reopened in 2017. In 2018, we won the Fiji Tourism Excellence Award. So we had decided when we did the rebuild that food is a very big focus for people these days. So we concentrated a lot on really improving our menu, our services, and it was very heartwarming to be recognised by the industry for that. So we are a resort built for divers by divers. I want to make that really clear. You're going to have a beautiful food, great lounging by the pool. We have a number of bars and happy hours, but diving is spectacular. So we have a lovely big swim up pool bar. Now I did mention we only have 33 villas, but we have 2 restaurants and 3 bars. We are Kiwis. We like to make sure that everybody feels hydrated. So the moment that you get back from diving, there's a nice cold beer or a cocktail waiting for you right there. Now our main restaurant, the Nuku Bar, this is open for breakfast. On the packaging that we've got for you, it is 7 courses a day. So it's 2 courses at breakfast, 2 at lunch, and 3 at evening meal. I can promise you, you're not going to be hungry. And the food is spectacular. We also have nightly entertainment with an acoustic guitarist in the bar. Now, Joey is probably one of the best barmen in Fiji. He makes amazing cocktails. This lovely lady down here, she's got a cocktail called Chili and Fire, and it's spectacular. It's a little bit like a jalapeno margarita, Fiji style, of course. Now, we do have local beer on tap as well, and the beer is really good. I mentioned the food. I'm a bit of a foodie. So as you can see, amazing food. We also have the ability, anybody who's got any special dietary needs, we can meet those. 90% of our menu can be made gluten-free. When you're booking with us, booking with Weavers, please just let them know if you've got any allergies or any special dietary requirements. We can let our chefs know in advance, and it's not a problem. I was at the resort probably about 18 months ago, and my dive buddy was a celiac, so gluten was a real issue for him. He would have had a very uncomfortable time had we not been able to adapt the menu. It was great. Kappa, our head chef, would come in and chat with him each day and say, okay, Doug, this is the menu, what would you like? And even when Doug went out on the boats and we were doing a day out on the boat where we had lunch, Doug had his little lunchbox with Doug's lunchbox, and the food was prepared specially for him. It's really important to us that you feel that you came to Fiji and that you had a Fijian experience. We're very, very proud of the culture of Fiji, and really want to share some of that with you. So included in your package, once a week we hold, it's called a meke, which is a traditional Fijian welcome, and typically, I'm just going to go and grab it because I actually have one. We also have a ceremony called a kava ceremony. Just a moment. I just happen to have one in my house because you have to have a kava bowl in your house. So this is a kava bowl, and it's a traditional drink that's made in the villages, and it's part of a welcoming ceremony. So we have a kava bowl in the bar most nights, and when we have our meke, you're invited to come down and sit with our villagers and our staff and actually partake in this local custom. This is called a tanoa. As I said, happen to just have one. So we also have a lovo that night, which is a traditional Fijian feast. It's cooked underground, you can see up here. But our gorgeous chefs, this is Kappa here and the boys, they produce this beautiful traditional meal, which is a really nice mix of Fijian culture, and they put a little bit of a European taste to it as well. I love, one day then I was there, Kappa had done these beautiful, it was like baked tuna and aubergine, spectacular. So, see, notice it's all about the food for me.
Aubergine for all of us Americans is eggplant.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's not a colour. Okay, so let's talk about where we're going to pop you to stay with us. So we have a 2-bedroom family villa. So if you were coming with a family group, this room category has 2 bedrooms, 2 en-suites, and has the ability to actually sleep 6 people, because in the living and lounge area, we also have 2 twin beds in there as well. This gives you an idea of the size of the villa. This is actually the lanai outside. So you've got, you know, outside dining area and lounge area as well. When we did the rebuild, you might remember from that aerial view that I showed you, there was some beautiful villas just to the left-hand side, and these have their own swimming pools. They are stunning. So you can imagine, so this is for a little bit of touch of luxury. You're coming all the way to Fiji. Why would you not treat yourself to a beautiful room with your own private swimming pool as well? So these are all completely private. They are suitable too if you are a small group liking to travel together, because we can fit 4 adults in these. They're a studio bedroom with a separate bedroom and 2 en-suites, and then you walk out to your own private swimming pool. And as you can see, the swimming pool is literally right down by the ocean. These are our premium ocean view rooms. Again, if we go back to that picture, and Audrey will have a site map that she can send you when you're booking, if you'd like to know where the rooms are. But these are villas that are dotted around the headland. Now, every one of our rooms has a 180-degree ocean view. I promise you, we do not have a room that's down by the garden shed and you can't see anything. Every room has a 180-degree ocean view. They all have air conditioning as well as ceiling fans. We have Wi-Fi throughout the whole property. What we don't have is we don't have telephones in the rooms, and we don't have TVs, because we want you to talk to each other. We want you to enjoy the diving. We do have a guest lounge that has a TV so that you can have a look at your videos that you might have done during your diving. So we do have that available as well. As I mentioned, this is our deluxe ocean view room. So we purpose built these for dive buddies. So everything in the room is doubled. It's got double luggage racks, double desks, and then 2 queen size beds. And then in the bathroom, you've got double hand basins. And again, you step straight out onto a lanai overlooking the ocean. Now, things to do when you're not diving. Well, above the water, we've got the beautiful Dormani Spa. Now, our beauty therapist it's all organic, traditional Fijian products. So if you can imagine a beautiful coconut or pineapple body scrub and facials, pedicures, and you are looking out over the ocean when you're having those treatments. Let's talk about the diving. So I'm really proud to say that I believe that we have the best dive operation in Fiji. We certainly have the newest, because it was blown over and we had to rebuild it again. So you can see down here on the right-hand side, our compressor room, it's immaculate. We do have nitrox at the resort, and I would actively encourage you to do a nitrox course prior to coming, or you can qualify at the resort as well. We have the ability, because we have a dive training school and we have very, very qualified dive instructors. You can do, if your partner is perhaps a non-diver but would like to look at doing an open water course, they can come and do that with us, and we can do specialty courses and basically cover the full range of courses available. So we are SSI, NAUI, and PADI. SSI, I've got some really exciting news to share with you in a few moments about SSI. So our dive boys are gorgeous. Paolo down here, he is our head dive instructor. Look, he qualified both my children, and I would not leave them in the hands of anybody else. He's spectacular. All of the dive boys they're locals, they've been diving this region most of their lives and are really, really passionate about sharing that experience with you. So we say decades of experience. Let's talk about the boats. We have a dedicated dive boat fleet, and to come back again, this is a family-owned resort. We own the dive operation as well, so we're not outsourcing it at all. Up here on the right-hand side, you can see how easy it is to get on our boats. The boats literally back up to the beach, and we have a ramp, straight onto the boat. Now, our two larger boats have the Ra and the Bly and the Vatu have a head on them. So it's a very comfortable boat. You've got a bathroom on board. We do have the capability on each of the boats to do 3 tank dive days. So we take you out right into the center of the Bly, and you can, and you have lunch on the boat and can do 3 dives. I need to also make it clear that we do have dive sites that are a lot closer in, sort of 15, 20 minutes away. There are some spectacular dive sites as well. So very fast boats, and they're purpose-built to dive in our dive conditions. So what's the diving like? Now, Audrey is going to either have sent you a link, or maybe in the follow-up, she will send you a beautiful 15-minute video of the kind of diversity of diving that Fiji offers. It is spectacular. There are wonderful swim-throughs. Our reefs are very healthy and very plentiful. We have some great little macro too, and particularly just out on our house reef, you can find some really interesting critters out there. We have schooling barracuda. Let me think. Last time I was diving, I saw a pygmy seahorse. I saw a turtle, and I actually did our dolphin encounter. So there was a pod of 30 dolphins as well. So talking about that, some of the activities that you can do, typically on our dive packages, we have you diving 2 dives in the morning, you come in for a beautiful lunch, maybe a nice cold beer, and then you can decide to do a local activity. So we do kayaking tours. We do have complimentary stand-up boards and kayaks at the resort for you to use at any stage. We do a dolphin encounter. Now I do want to make it clear, we believe in allowing our animals to enjoy their own habitat without us interfering too much. So what we do is we go out to where the pod is. They follow the boat and play, and literally you watch them diving and leaping right there. And then we do that for about 30 minutes, and then there's a reef just a little way off. We will go and park the boat there. We'll let you in snorkeling, and if the dolphins come and choose to be part of the activity, then that's great, and if they don't, we let them be. The other thing that I really enjoy doing is we have a sunset cruise twice a week. The beautiful Geraldine, this gorgeous smiling Fijian face that you can see down here, Geraldine is our resort manager, so she'll be your day-to-day contact with anything to do with your rooms or the resort. Now the sunset cruise, I love this. You hop on the boat, you head out to the island of Nanui Ra, right on sunset. It's absolutely gorgeous, and for those of you that are brave enough, we jump off the top of the boat. There's bubbles and canapes and a couple of beers, and then we take you back just as the sun has set, back to the resort in time for you to have a shower and then be down at the restaurant for dinner around 7 o'clock. We also do this hike to the Nambaraseri waterfall. Now the waterfall is the largest waterfall in Fiji, and if you look closely, you can see this little guy down here. This gives you an idea of how tall this waterfall is. This is another great day trip. It's about an hour and a half drive from the resort. You go to a local village that's gorgeous. It's set up on the hill. You're welcomed into the village. There's a kava ceremony, an exchanging of kava root, which is a gift from the resort to the village. And then you are guided, you are blessed and allowed to be guided up to the waterfall. Now the waterfall has all of these little sprouts and pockets. So the legend in the village is that as if somebody dies in the village, the sprout closes, and as a baby is born, another sprout opens up. So it's really, really lovely, and that's well worth doing. Raki Township's about 15 minutes drive from the resort. That's worth the trip as well. And we have local taxis that can take you there for a really reasonable rate. It's about $15 US round trip. So what's new and exciting at Voli? So excited to share with you. We have made it as a finalist into the Dive Travel Awards for 2020. Now guys, if you like what you've seen and you want to support a local Fiji business, we are the only dive resort in Fiji to have made the finalists. And at the moment we are tracking number 3. All those votes count. Do I feel like Simon Cowell when I'm saying that? I don't know. But please, again, in Audrey's follow-up, she'll send you the link for you to go on and vote for VoliVoli Beach Resort. It would be phenomenal to have a Fijian resort for the first time win these Dive Travel Awards. And so we need you to support us. We'd really appreciate that. Now, the other exciting thing is Ra Divers has now been accepted as an accreditation for Blue Ocean, as a Blue Ocean's Dive Centre. So again, we are the only dive operation in Fiji to have attained this SSI qualification. We are very, very serious about making sure that we minimise our footprint. We are also part of the Mangroves for Fiji project. And thank you very much, because Audrey was a major instigator in getting this underway and helping us become part of this project. We are doing, we have a number of nurseries, we are repropagating mangroves, and then doing a restoration and repropagation along the coastal regions of Fiji. So very, very passionate about our oceans and our environment. Let's talk about the special, because that's really what you want to know. Hopefully I've got you all geared up to come to and stay with us. And now you need to, so if you've attended this Zoom meeting and you book with Weaver's Dive Travel, you will receive today, or when you book, a free upgrade, a free room upgrade. Now the package that we've put together is 7 nights. Now you are getting 2 free nights with us, and includes all of your meals. It is 12 dives, and 2 of those dives are boat dives. As I mentioned, we do unlimited shore diving as well. It includes a beach barbecue night, the traditional meke and Fijian lovo that I talked about, complimentary use of our kayaks, and we do have a non-diver option there, and also a single diver rate. So the sales dates, you need to let somebody at Weavers know before the 30th of September, and we have travel from whenever the borders are open right through to the 30th of April 2023. We are holding those prices for you. And the best part is we've actually lowered our deposit policy, so it's only going to be $50 for you to secure that trip. Yay! And we would just love to see you come and stay with us. So what makes VoliVoli unique? I want to show you a little bit of the team on the right-hand side. This is the Darling family. So mum and dad, Steve and Gail, they live just up the road from the resort. Steve and Natalie and their 2 children live at the resort. And I've got another announcement to make, which is Zara Darling has just made it into the Women's Hall of, thank you.
Diver Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
She was just featured in the newsletter because she's an amazing junior diver. I did her underwater navigation course this year, and she is just an amazing diver and just totally part of the Darling diving family.
So for us, it's so exciting to see it's now going to be the next generation of divers and family members being involved with the resort and our underwater community. And then you've got, Steve Darling is our purchasing manager. He's one of the directors of the company. Now, Steve goes off every day to the local markets to actually buy all the fresh fruit and vegetables that we have for your beautiful meals. This area of Fiji is the agricultural growing centre, so we support local as much as we can. We have local beef, local pork, local chicken. Our lamb is imported from New Zealand, but that's, you know, lamb. So, and Nick Darling is our general manager. So he sits behind Geraldine. You will see Nick at the resort, but as I said, the first port of call for anything that you might need in your rooms is talking to our resort manager, Geraldine. Now down here on the right-hand side, we've got Stevie, Simon Doherty is our dive operations manager. He's on site. You will be dealing with our dive masters, but Simon's there as well to give you a hand. He's also the most qualified dive instructor in Fiji. He's an ex-area manager for SSI. There's not a lot about diving that Simon doesn't know, and he's really proactive about sharing that information. There's me getting ready for a day of diving. This is Brad. Brad is a guest. He's been with us 18 times. This was his birthday, so we gave him a staff t-shirt. Kind of get the feeling of what we're all about. Up here, you've got Zara, that Audrey and I were just talking about, the gorgeous Audrey diving with us when she was staying with us, and Stevie there, and you've got the dive boys in the background. So we are family owned and operated. We actually own VoliVoli Beach Resort as well as Ra Divers. We are an SSI and PADI training facility. We've got night trucks at the resort. There's fantastic diving for all levels. All rooms have got 180-degree unlimited ocean views. We offer fishing, day spa, stand-up paddle boards, day tours, sunset cruises. And to finish off, I want to show you our beautiful Fijian staff. So when I say that you arrive as a guest and you leave as a member of the family, these gorgeous people are going to be welcoming you every day. And I love this photo because we've got everybody in there, from our gardeners to our cleaners, to our dive boys, to our chef, to our resort manager, to Joey, our barman. These people are passionate about making sure that you have an authentic Fijian experience and you walk away thinking Fiji is the best place in the South Pacific to dive and to stay. So I think that kind of pretty much covers everything that I've got to tell you.
Simon is actually with us. You want to say hi real quick, Simon?
I'll unmute Simon. Simon, you're unmute. You can unmute now. Oh. Sorry, I might have muted you. Hi, Simon. Oh. Well, Simon is seriously one of the most qualified dive instructors.
Now you're unmuted.
There.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Bula guys.
Bula.
Great job, Sandy.
Simon's actually in Fiji right now, right?
I am, absolutely, yes.
He's at
And,
VoliVoli Beach Resort.
At VoliVoli Beach Resort. And as Sandy mentioned about little Zara earlier, she's actually underwater right now, logging dive number 86, I think it is. And I'm sitting in the office.
Ah,
What's wrong with that picture?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Zara she's such a pleasure to dive with. I mean, all of the dive masters are the local dive guides, and Simon does a really good job putting on professional courses for them as well. So they're not just open water divers. They are professionally qualified by, SSI and a instructor with very high standards. And he does a really great job with everyone. And we actually do an internship program as well, or VoliVoli does, with the local guys, and they can start from not being certified divers all the way up to dive guide. And then they can get jobs with VoliVoli or throughout Fiji, which is a really great way that VoliVoli gives back to the local community as well.
One of the things we're doing right at the moment, actually, Audrey, just hot off the press yesterday, we're going to do an assistant instructor course with 5 of our current dive masters during this quiet period. So that's a pretty cool thing. They'll be able to then do intros, scuba rangers or bubble makers in the pool, things like that, rather than just, simply guiding and lots of local knowledge. So that's a great thing, and we're quite excited to give back to the community for that as well.
That's really
Great.
that's so awesome.
Well, we've had some of our staff training during this this time too, haven't we? People who are on our staff who have never dove before.
And we've got our accountant, a couple of our garden guys, one of the chefs, all are now open water divers. It's pretty exciting for them. They see our customers every day, but haven't had the opportunity to do that previously. So anybody that's works in the company, we've got about 90 employees overall, and we offer free training to anybody who wants to learn to dive. We've also been doing quite a lot of dive training with the gang from Tourism Fiji and also from Fiji Airways. So it's great. And they're the people that are in the front line with clients from all around the world. So they're getting to experience the Bly water as well. So it's quite a good feeling, actually.
Yeah, the Bly water is it's one of my favorite places to dive. Simon, what's your favorite dive site in the Bly?
It changes from day to day. I think everybody likes places like Mellow Yellow, Black Magic Mountain, the Breathtaker. We've got amazing. We've got 80 dive sites we're diving now.
I love instant replay.
And I love instant replay as well. So how many dive sites does VoliVoli have access to? That was a question.
Okay, well, we dive in 7 different regions, and we currently have 83 dive sites that we've logged, mapped, and we can dive.
83.
83, yeah. One thing that we didn't mention earlier too that I think is important, and following up from Sandy's point about looking after the environment, we have moorings on all of our sites. They're all underwater moorings, so we never ever anchor in the Bly ever. So we just pick up our moorings, and it's great for the environment as well, which is one of the things that helped us with our Blue Oceans accreditation.
Mm-hmm. So we did have a question about, so we do there's the morning 2-tank boat diving. If you want to dive in the afternoon, what options are there besides just 2-tank boat diving?
Me, Sandy?
I was going to say, Simon, you take it because you'll be linking
No
those
worries.
times for them.
Sure. We can dive, we dive 365 days a year, normally. We can do 2 or 3 tank dives typically, and also night dives as well. So afternoon diving, not a problem, or make it a 3-tank day, and we would be back at the resort around about 3 o'clock, depending on where we go, somewhere between 3 and 3:30 in the afternoon.
So those packages that we put together, Simon, that's a base pricing, but if they want to add extra dives once they get to the resort, then that is not a problem. They just need to give you some advance warning, don't they?
No problems at all. That's easy, no problems. And the package that Sandy's put together is our 10 or 12 dive package. So any additional dives, we just sort of charge that back to the room at the reduced rate, at the 10 dive package rate. So it's super cheap as well, and it's great. And yeah, we'll work around the weather. If the weather's fantastic, people want to do 3 or 4 dives a day. No problems at all.
Yeah. So we did have a question. We brought VoliVoli's on the other side of the island from the Banga Shark Dive, but is the Banga Shark Dive possible from VoliVoli?
Yes, it is. We do get some clients that will take it as a day trip, and we can send you down there. That's easy. It is a big day. So normally you would leave our resort at probably around about 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock. We normally would do a packed breakfast for you, drive down, it's about 3.5 hour drive, do the sharks, a couple of dives there, and then come back in time for dinner. Or if you like, you could land at Nandi International Airport, go the bottom road to the shark dive, spend a day or possibly 2 days there, and then come up to the top and spend a week with us. So you can either do it as part of your days, or you can just extend your trip by a couple of days.
So what do you think the best time of year is to travel to Fiji?
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. Right now, anytime.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. We obviously in the tropics, so it's cyclone season, December, January, February. But if we don't have cyclones, we don't have them every day, but if we don't, the weather is mint, absolutely fantastic, and the diving is beautiful, flat water. Our water temperature is the warmest, obviously, in our summer, which we call the dry season, the wet season. So that'd be about 86 degrees roughly at that time of year in the water. And then our coldest water is in the middle of the year, middle of the calendar year, which would drop down to probably 77, 76, something like that.
Yeah, when I was there in February, I mean, I've been, I think, I don't know, 6 times now, but in February of this year, I was there and it was 80, it was like 87, did not need a wetsuit at all. And then in July, I've been and needed my 5 mil.
I personally like, if you're traveling from North America, I like spring or autumn. You know, any time from February, March, you know, to escape the cold, or particularly if you're coming from the east. In the States, coming down to us, February, March, April, May is really lovely. September, October, November. So just as it's starting to get a little bit cooler in autumn, those are great times as well.
So I think the most important question I have gotten is, what is the average, how many pounds does the average diver gain after a week of eating the food at VoliVoli?
I'd say to answer that question, the biggest complaint we ever get is, gee, I put on too much weight.
That is actually one of the biggest complaints, is that the portion sizes are too big of the wonderful food. That's something that I hear a lot. Well, thank you, Sandy and Simon, so very much for your time and for this wonderful presentation and answering the questions. I really hope that everyone here will join me in Fiji next May. It is one of the best times of the year to visit, before it's cold, after it's rainy, and there's really good animal life. You can join me May 15th through the 22nd of 2021 at VoliVoli Beach Resort. If you can't join me then, please contact us or check out VoliVoli Beach Resort to go on a trip on your own. We have that lovely special with a free upgrade, only $50 to hold that price and reserve your space. Travel through 2023.